Austin Laramie here from Zero to Hero Dog Training, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to start teaching the place command. So, what the place command is one, it's a send away, but two, it's simply, at the simplest form, it means to get on any elevated object and to also stay there. So I don't teach to stay in the beginning, I just teach the initial command. And important things to note is you want to generalize the command. So you want your dog to not only go on a dog cot like this, but you want your dog to go on as many different things as possible. So when I start incorporating the outside distractions, I'll have dogs go on steps, I'll have dogs go on rocks, logs, anything that the dog can get on, I will put them on to show them that place doesn't just mean this object right here, but it means anything elevated. The reason why you use something elevated is because you got to be crystal clear with your dogs on what you want. And if I'm using a rug, for example, and 3 paws are on that rug and 1 paw is off the rug, she's not going to know the difference, but she's going to obviously know that she's on this thing. So, just like all my commands, before I ever start saying the command, I shape the behavior. What that means is I use a technique called luring, having a dog follow food into different positions, and through luring, I get the dog up and off of the place that I'm working on, and I reward the dog for getting on it. So what you need is, 1, you need a continuation marker, and 2, you need a terminal marker. A continuation marker is simply a sound or a word that predicts a reward. A termination marker is a sound or word that predicts a reward and a release from the position. So when I'm teaching it, you want to get yourself your dog, you want to get yourself some kibble, and you want to use luring. So before I ever say the command place, the dog will have gotten on it, yes, 100 times, a few hundred times before I ever say it. She went on it there. She doesn't know the command. I want you guys to know that I am teaching this in real time. Haven't even really shaped it at all. She probably just guessed. That was a cool coincidence, but she doesn't know it at all by the command. I haven't said it to her. So how I start is I'll take the food and I'll lure her. Nyla. When she gets on it, yes! Yes is my terminal command. So that means reward and release. So you can do 2 things. As soon as she gets on it, I will mark and reward, allowing her to get off. I will also use my continuation command. So I'll put her on it. Nyla, come here. Good. Good is my continuation. That means reward, but it doesn't mean release. So I'm just going to continually reward her while she's on it.
I made a mistake.
Good girl.
I said
yeah.
Terminal command and continuation command. I meant to say continuation marker and terminal marker. Again, continuation marker just means reward, but keep holding that position. Terminal marker means reward and release. Come to me for your reward.
Nyla, use a lot of praise here. Good girl. Yes. She's a pretty confident puppy, but a lot of puppies or dogs, they will be scared of this in the beginning. So what I'm doing is, I don't expect the dog to get on it in the beginning. I will reward every little baby step. So first, if the dog's scared, 1, I'm not going to use the leash to force them. I'm going to get some food. If they're a little scared, I'll use some higher value. And again, I will mark and reward when they sniff it. I'll mark and reward when they look at it. I'll mark and reward when they walk past it. Then from there, I'll try to get them to get at least 1 paw on, right? They get 1 paw on, yes! And I reward for just 1 paw. Then I do that a few times. Then I'll add 2 paws. Yes! Good girl, and so on and so forth. Once your dog finally gets on it, if they're scared, I will reward and I'll do a whole handful. Good girl! Just like that, and I'll give a whole handful, and I'll reward them consistently when they're on it. They hop off, nothing happens. They get back on, good girl, and you get all the praise in the world. So again, you want to take it slow if your dog is nervous of it at first. And you don't want to just force your dog on, right? You want to slowly introduce it. Make it their idea. So again, when you're luring, make sure your food is right up in their nose. And again, I'm just going to let her follow it. As soon as she gets on, yes, I reward. If you watch my marker video, you know that your mark has to precede the movement. So I'm not going yes, yes. I'm saying yes, and then I'm moving. Or if I'm luring, I say yes, but I don't release it the second I say yes. I say yes, and then I step back and release. So just know that there's a separation between yes and the actual giving of the reward. Or when I say good, and then I move, right? I don't go good, I go good, and then I reach and I move. You want to make sure when you say your mark, your hand isn't in the bag either. You're neutral. So again, good girl, good. You want to have your dog go on it from all angles too. So I'll work from over here. Come here, Nyla. And I'll just lure her on it from this angle. Yes, good girl. Just get her comfortable going on and off of it. Yes. If your dog goes on it without you asking or luring her, you can still reward that. Yes, just like she's doing now. She catches on pretty quick, but some dogs take longer than others, so don't get frustrated and be patient. And sometimes, yes, sometimes I will just take some food and I'll wait. I won't lure, I won't say anything, and I'll just wait for the dog to offer that behavior. Sometimes I'll walk towards it. Yes, just like that. And I want the dog to think, how do I get that food? If you shape your commands, the dog will offer different behaviors. Like some dogs will go down, they'll sit, they'll go on the place, they'll stand up, different things. Yes. But again, this is how I teach the place command. Once your dog, when you pull out food, will get on the place without you having to lure them, that's when you know you're ready to name the command. So when I'm naming the command, the separation is always there. You have to separate everything. So when I start adding the command place, I'm not saying place the same time that I move or the same time that I point. I'm not going to go place. I'm going to go place, and then I move to lure. So it'll look like this. I will say Nyla place, and then I'll move. Yes, as soon as all four paws get on, that's the second I reward. You can either use your terminal command, which means reward and release, or you can use your continuation marker, which means reward but hold tight. Good. You want to interchange them too. Good. You don't want to do too much of the same thing over and over. You don't want the dog to anticipate your patterns. Dogs are great at forming patterns and understanding them. So they'll anticipate if you have the same thing over and over and over. So always be different. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Yeah. Nyla place. Then I lure. Yes. Good girl. Nyla place. Yes. Good. Nyla place. Yes. Good girl. Sometimes you don't even need to lure. Sometimes you can just step towards it. Sometimes you can point at it. Depends on how quick your dog learns. She learns extremely fast. But again, you want to be extremely clear for your dog and work on your dog's level. So if they're having some trouble, don't expect your dog to get this in one session. Break it up throughout the week. Nyla. Hey, Nyla place. Yes, good girl. Nyla place. Yes, good girl. At this point, I'm not using any leash pressure yet. The leash has been loose. Nyla place. Yes, good girl. Yeah. Nyla place. Yes, good girl. Good girl, Nyla. Nyla place. Yes. So you see, I'm saying the command, I'm pausing, and then I'm moving. Scientifically, you have 1 second to either reward a behavior that you like, or 1 second to correct the behavior that you don't like, or 1 second to make a connection. So I'm saying place, and I'm not pausing for 10 seconds, but I'm saying place, counting to 1, 2, then I move. You gotta make sure that you do it relatively fast, but just not the same time. Think of every command that you give a dog as a question. I say place, and I'm basically asking her, do you know how to go on a place? When you ask a question, you're not giving the answer at the same time. So just like dog training, I'm saying place, and I'm not going place. I'm going place, and I'm walking to it. Yes! Good girl, Nyla. Place. Yes. Now, I don't teach the word stay. I teach that every command has an implied stay, which means that the dog should remain in that position until we release them. That's how I teach. Now, when I'm teaching the initial command, I don't work on the stay portion. I just want her to learn, yes, the command first. Once she knows the command by the verbal and I don't need to help anymore, then I start adding the place. Then I start adding the stay. So it might take her a couple days to really understand the verbal, but once she knows it and I don't need to help anymore, then I add accountability and the stay portion, and I'll make a video showing you guys how to do that. Place. Yes. Nyla. Place. Yes. Good girl. Cool. So that is how you teach a dog how to place. You see I'm just using this dog cot here, but you can use your couch if they're allowed on furniture. You can use, you can go outside, use a rock, this. You can put this in different areas as well. You want to generalize the command as fast as possible, which means showing the dog it's not just this thing. A lot of people make the mistake of only using a dog bed or a dog cot, and then they go to the park and they go to a bench and they say place and their dog doesn't understand what they mean. So you want to teach the dog multiple things. Maybe she does good with this. The second I go to like a rock that's a little higher, maybe she'll be a little scared of it, in which case I'm not going to have the same expectation. I'm going to work with the luring again. I'm going to say place and I'm going to lure, right? Because she's going to be a little scared. Maybe if she's real scared of the thing that I'm trying to get her to go on, I'm not going to expect her to get right on it. So I'm going to reward, again, she sniffs it. Puts one paw on, then two paws, and three paws, right? So she gets on it. Once she finally gets on it, I'm rewarding really heavily that first time. Yes, good girl. Cool, guys. Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for part 2 when we start adding accountability and how to teach the stay portion of the place command. Cool. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Please comment down below if you have any issues or things you want me to make a video on, and I'll gladly add it to the how-to playlist that I'm working on now. Cool, guys. Thank you so much.